Yeah, what's good, y'all? It's Old May One Who Made Sin. Thank you again for joining us today. Looks like we're delayed here. I don't know, it's doing some weird thing where looks like all my motions and everything are delayed. But anyway, speaking of delays, we ain't got no new music or nothing for y'all today. I just wanted to talk to y'all again. So like yesterday, this is a continuation of the vlog. If you're not into this kind of stuff, check out another video. Or whatever. But yeah, I don't really do excuses, but I'll give y'all an explanation here. You know, a big reason that why we haven't been doing new stuff as of recently is because I feel like I'm so far behind on like editing and like having like the old content out and like having it delivered properly. Um, I don't want to continue and just like forget about stuff that we already have. I want to make sure like stuff that we already have is properly released already. It's kind of like the equivalent and I don't want to stop either, you know. So that's why we're doing these, and yet you know, the other stuff hasn't been done yet, and we're just kind of like not sweeping it under the rug, but just moving on, regardless, you know. Um, but yeah, it's kind of like having your foot on both the brake and the gas at the same time. Um, it's like you're kind of, I don't know if you're going anywhere or not. It's like you're starting and stopping, false starts, and that sort of thing. So that principle, that concept, kind of ties into what I wanted to talk about today, duality of human nature. Um, we all have, and we covered this in one of our songs earlier, like last month, called "The Duality of Man," and it's about each individual has capacity for like both good and evil, wrongdoing and benevolence, and aside from that, the fact I feel like sometimes I look, not just me, but sometimes in society we tend to look at things as positive or negative in regards to how it affects us in our personal life. Whether or not it's actually a benefit to us. Which is can be short-sighted at times. Like we can only see like a minute immediate benefits or negatives. Like for that moment. Without actually putting things into perspective of our life. Like we talked about yesterday, we talked about like having a roadmap for your journey or your success. That sort of thing. Um, where sometimes like today, say if I'm traveling from LA to New York and I have something that and I'm on my path and I have something that takes me back like 5 miles, like say I forgot my wallet like or something like that, like right at the beginning. Um, it would be short-sighted of me to say, hey, this is a negative, but say what if that 5 miles back kept me out of a car crash or something, that I would have encountered had I left 5 minutes earlier, or had I not been taken back the 5 miles, or if I was able to evade traffic, you know, um, because of that. Sometimes we can be short-sighted and not see the whole picture of things, but aside from that, so maybe we should be reluctant to look at things as like positive or negative. Maybe we should just like take things in stride and look at them for like shit happens, like it is what it is, but aside from that, um, duality of human nature, right? We were talking, me and producers and everything like that, homies, like-minded individuals. We were talking about sometimes in the same individual, you can have qualities that you would think, um, how should I say, conflict with each other, things that don't necessarily go together. But in the same individual, I was watching like a motivational speaker or something like that last night, and he was talking about like, how can I be so smart and so dumb at the same time. I'm gonna say he was talking about how it was like the store. I'm gonna say it was Forever 21. They're going in debt, right? And they owe like 100,000 people money. uh, and they were good to have the business model, you know, to hold the store down, um, but they didn't have the knowledge or the know-how to do e-commerce. Like I believe that means to sell things online, and we're kind of like in a day and age, in the modern society where that's important. That's essential for your business. You're not. It's unlikely that you're gonna thrive or survive if that's not a market that you've tapped into. The online market space. And sometimes, like I look at in myself, being an artist, and like I have all these good qualities, like not to like toot my own horn or anything like that, but like I'm hardworking, I'm diligent, I'm actually about, what I do, I practice what I preach, that sort of shit, loyalty, whatever, but at the same time, um, and I wouldn't even say that I'm bad at managing money, but I could be better. I could be better. Um, and sometimes like I invest in things too aggressively and prematurely, not being cognizant or like having awareness, like as self-aware as I am, like as myself, as an individual, sometimes I don't assess the situation, or I keep pressing regardless of what the situation may call for, if that makes sense. Um, so I feel like that was something that I wanted to talk about today. Um, Self awareness. You always have a choice. Decide where I don't know if I covered this yesterday, but I believe I did. We talked about the yoga teacher yesterday, where she said your energy goes to where your attention is, or vice versa. Your attention goes to where your energy. And I don't want to say it was the other way around. Your attention goes to where your energy goes to where your attention is. So basically, what you focus on. There's another story. I may have told this sometime ago. None of these are like original stories, So don't like quote me on these. I'm just paraphrasing. Um, there's like a proverb or like a story or something, or like a parable of somebody was saying, it says like an Indian chief was teaching his son or something like that, and he said, there are two wolves within you at constant battle. One, represents benevolence and kindness and good doing, and all the principles you associate with, I guess good qualities, desirable traits. And then the other one, on the other hand, you have the wolf that's selfish and mean spirited, and that sort of thing. Basically, the opposite. You have the opposites fighting, tugging at war within you every day, constantly, and the one that wins, ultimately, you determine that based on the one that you choose to feed. That stuck with me. I felt like that was deep. Um, but your energy goes to where your attention is. So whatever you focus on in life, that's where you'll be ultimately directed. I want to say I covered this in like a Thoughtful Thursday or something like way back. Um, you learn like so many lessons when you're driving, right? Or at least in my experience. Um, you ever notice? I mean, you gotta notice if you drive, when you're driving, you look straight ahead, right? You don't drive backwards. You don't drive in reverse. You don't drive looking to the side. You don't drive looking to the right. You might glance. You might take a look at one side or the other, so that you don't go in that direction, or so you're aware. So you're aware of your surroundings. You don't hit nothing. Right? Um, but for the most part, you're focused on what's in front of you because that's the direction you're traveling. You're traveling in front, right? And I feel like the same thing is in life. If we're gonna keep traveling forward, we're gonna keep traveling, going in front, ahead, of where we are currently. That's where our focus needs to be. That's where our energy is going. That's where we're being directed. You're not driving to the side. You're not distracted, basically. Um, and just like when you're driving, you're not just driving 100% of the time ahead. You know, you're not always focused just like this, or else something's gonna hit you, you know, or you're gonna hit something, because roads curve and turn and shit like that, you know. But definitely the majority of the time, not 100% of the time, but majority of the time, you're gonna be focusing on what's directly in front of you. So that's what I got for y'all today. Those are my thoughts for the day on this Saturday, November 16, 2019. Appreciate y'all for joining us today. Appreciate y'all for being patient with us. Whether we're ready or not, we're going to be doing something tomorrow. So if you're looking for music, whether we're ready or not, you can expect that. Don't know what time it'll be. Usually about the same time, hopefully. Maybe 2 hours earlier. But yeah, you want to make sure you subscribe to us, like, comment, share with somebody if you find this message to be of value, or if you feel like somebody else could get value from it as well. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, turn on your live notifications whenever we go live. Appreciate y'all for joining us today, watching the playback, all that good stuff. Other than that, do what you do, whatever you do you. After all, is what you do best. This is OMA, one who may ascend, over and out. Stay up, have a beautiful weekend.